diesel truck.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to your garage. So last night and pretty much since I got home from work today, I have been looking all over the race truck. As you can see, I got cross members, our old transmission cooler mount, transmission coolers, exhaust pipe. I got the cross member piece we were going to use back here but didn't fit up here. All kinds of stuff going on. So basically the last night and a half I've been looking at this, trying to figure out what to do with the cross member, what to do with our transmission coolers and all that. So I'm looking at it and basically I think I'm overthinking the whole thing. Here is our old cross member that we cut out below the cab here. And you know, I'm thinking about bracing and I'm thinking about this. Well, this came up off the frame and up and over. So really, all your support is just side to side. I don't feel that, you know, it coming down like this is really keeping the frame from flexing this way. So I don't think that's an issue. So I think if we just go with a single bar like this and then put a drive shaft tube over top of it, I think we'll be good. Because the other thing is the cab mounts up here. So now you're kind of adding a rigid piece up top. And you got to remember, when it comes to these frame cross members and stuff, they build these trucks to haul, you know, what are these things good to tow? You know, well over 10,000 pounds or some shit like that. Well, they're what, closer to 20 anymore? I mean, just ridiculous amounts of weight. So they engineer these frames for that. They're not engineering them to be lighter than normal, but with a way more power. So I don't think it's going to be an issue, but it's something we can watch. We can, you know, after we put that on there, we can mount a GoPro somewhere. When we launch the truck, see what everything's doing. And eventually, when we do get a cage, that should strengthen everything up even more. So I really think I've just been overthinking this whole thing all along. And I'm planning on just doing a bar with a hoop and being done with it. If there's issues or we see stuff or the truck doesn't react as we have known that it does, which is pretty uneventful when it takes off at the track, it just kind of gone. Then maybe we'll get into gusseting and all that. But I don't think we really have an issue right now. As far as the transmission coolers go, I was just going to put two pieces of aluminum across here and mount the cooler. Well, I think, and where to get to, that we're going to scrap that idea and we're going to reuse the bracket I made. Remember, this bracket was made to mount underneath the bed with some nut zerks. So what I'm thinking is we will cut it down here, so we'll have about an inch hanging out on this side, inch on this side. We'll just mount it right to the frame. We'll have to notch it, obviously. But I'm thinking the frame is thick enough, we can drill and tap the frame. And I'm thinking, you know, 3 or 4 bolts across here. And then cut this down, obviously. Make this a little cleaner. And we'll add some gussets down to our frame, drill and tap again, and we'll be good to go. That being said, I've obviously decided to just go with the big derail trans cooler only for now. I figure we'll put this on, we'll see how everything does, how it reacts. Really, I'm thinking our first time or two at the track for like test and tune, we're not going to be making pass after pass. We're not going to be hot lapping the truck. I think I'm going to make a pass, go back, get data when we get all our data logging stuff in, and figure out, you know, what the truck's doing, adjust my shift points and all that, and try and learn more about the truck. So we might go to the track for a night and maybe only get 3 or 4 passes in. But I think with that time difference, this big cooler should be more than enough. And if not, later on we can add this one back in. So I was sitting here last night, just eyeing everything up, trying to figure out this cross member thing and all that. And I noticed something. Did any of you notice something? Well, if you look closely, the exhaust is going to hit that cross member. So if you remember, before we put our transmission in, I was really worried about trying to get that all set in there and kind of good to go. So all we had to do was slide our exhaust pipe on and be ready to bolt everything up. So what happened was, and if you remember the last video, I made a comment how I kind of had this little moment where I was like, what was that? And it was the hood closing, because the hood stack finally got back where it was supposed to be with the hole in the hood. And what that was due to is when I lowered the transmission down onto the cross member, that actually took our Cummins, our engine, and tilted it back slightly. Well, that's enough that they put that exhaust kind of running right into that cross member. My plan was just to slide this right on there and adjust everything as we saw fit with the cross member and all that. It might still be usable if we cut that stub piece down so we can take advantage of this offset here. But I'm not thinking that's going to be the case. I think we're going to have to cut and kind of angle that thing a little differently off that flange, off of our exhaust cutout valve. So we're going to give it a shot and cut it down and try that. But if not, we're going to have to maybe even do some pie cut action. I don't know. Just to figure that out. And I've been getting a lot of comments on the last couple of videos. Everybody wondering, hey, if you're going full race truck, why are you putting the exhaust on? You know, what's with the exhaust? You're cutting shit out, but you're putting a full exhaust and a hood stack. Look, all that is I came up with that switchable hood stack idea, which I don't know of anybody else who has done it before or since. And it never really was completed 100%. So I just want to do it 100%, prove that it works, and I think we can have some fun with it. Like if we go to the track, you know, maybe make our first pass with the normal exhaust, hopefully make a, you know, a pass where everybody goes, wow, did you see that truck? Then come back up, make our next pass, now it's coming out of the hood, and then have people questioning, is that the same truck I saw before? Because the exhaust is completely different. So for that aspect, I want it, and like I said, and I've said previously, I just want to prove my concept out. Like I said, I put a lot of time and effort into that downpipe for our selectable hood stack, and I just want to see it work appropriately, even if it's only 1 or 2 trips to the track, or maybe a dyno run or 2. Because the dyno I think would be cool as well. Make the first pass on the dyno, normal exhaust, you know, have the dyno operator open the switch, so now it's coming out of the hood, and just see people's reaction. I think it would surprise probably just about everybody unless they saw that video. So the plan for tonight is kind of get things rolling. Obviously our aluminum bracket for our transcooler. I don't have an AC machine here at the house, so we can just put this, you know, get this ready to go. I can take measurements for, you know, modifying it to work for what I want to do. You know, do that. We can mess with the exhaust a little bit. You know, take all our measurements. Well, I got most of the measurements for the cross member, so that's already done. But, you know, just kind of pick away at these little things. And if we have time, I want to look at the neutral safety switch on our 48RE and see how I can incorporate our wires. The fire pump box that I had kind of reverse engineered had a relay. I want to see if we can eliminate that. But I'm sure if those guys didn't think of whatever I'm going to try and think of, that it's just not a thing that can be done. So anyway, a lot of rambling. Let's get to work and get these things kind of fitted up, and that way we can get everything installed here in the next few days and hopefully get this thing to track sooner rather than later. Well, I think we got a good game plan. I think I got everything figured out, starting with our exhaust. The flange sits like this in the truck, how I have it welded up. And I measured to that transmission cross member. And as you can see, if we can bring it 1 inch over and then up 1 inch, it should clear and be in good shape. So I think we'll probably do a little pie cut action on this, get it up, and then we can do our original plan of having the exhaust just slip over it, make it real nice, easy, and I don't know if I want to say factory like, but it'll just slip on there. We'll clamp it up and everything should be good to go. That might take a little time, but this is not a main priority. We can always just keep that valve closed and go straight hood stack for the time being. The exhaust, like I said earlier, is just something I want to see complete. As far as the transmission cooler bracketry, I cut it out here. I will definitely clean this up tomorrow. As you can see, I just did it with the cutting wheel on the grinder, so it's a bit gnawed looking. But I clamped it up. Everything looks good. Definitely got to drill some new holes. I got to move it over about 1 inch, and then it will clear all our wires, all that. And I think that will look, get in there. I think that'll look good right there. Our routing for our line should be easy. I really like it. As you can see, it does support it as it sits, but it is a bit flimsy. So we'll just make 2 runners, you know, coming down here to the frame. We'll bolt those up and this thing should be pretty solid. And honestly, if I decide to add the other cooler, we could probably still use this and then either mount that either, you know, backward or forward of this cooler. So another thing I decided to do, which was not on the agenda, was these 3 holes over here for the exhaust. Those were the mounts for the exhaust, just like here. For whatever reason, on these exhaust mounts, they have it welded here, and then it's just through to the other side of the frame and welded here too. I don't know why. Just seems like overkill. Well, I made the decision to go ahead and, you know, flush those off and get rid of them completely. And I said, might as well get rid of that round stock in the frame, which honestly, the juice was not worth the squeeze on that one. I went to get rid of those things and I figured I'll just grind them smooth, get them out with a punch and a hammer, and they fought me and they were pretty bad. So then I remembered an old trick, took my air chisel and I just started running that on that, and that would run them out, and then I just had to beat them through the other side, which the first one went well. The second one, the air chisel got a little away from me and I kind of mushroomed over the end that I was trying to pound on in the beginning. So that one took a little beating. And then the third one, after all that beating, had already kind of like rattled back out this way. So like I said, the juice probably wasn't worth the squeeze, the time and the effort on that one, but it's done. So now that I say that, I forgot that middle one that I was talking about that was hard. I actually put this slam hammer vice grip device I've made. Now somebody makes one of these. That's where I got the idea, and I'd put the link in the description, but I can't remember who it is and I can't find it. If somebody has it, put it down in the comments. But I just saw it on a TV show one time and said, that's a great idea, but I can make my own. Well, anyway, I put that on there. As you can see, it took multiple attempts, but finally it came out. And here's the other 2. Got all that stuff done and figured out, and you know, there's a lot of stuff that we can't do here in the garage, like welding this bracket up for the trans cooler. I don't have an AC machine. I can't do aluminum here. So on my lunch break at work, I'll have to take care of that kind of stuff. But the other thing we wanted to do was look at that neutral safety switch. So the neutral safety switch with the anteater setup is, or no, not with the anteater setup, my mistake. With the old style 68 RFE info box, which now Firepunk has the 48 RE neutral safety switch based porcupine setup. Anyhow, that's new. We got the old new school. We got their first box to delete the 68 RFE. So it just sees neutral and reverse. So drive, neutral, park, all say N. Reverse, you get your reverse lights. If we had a camera, we'd have the camera up, and then the little R indicator shows up. The 47RE neutral safety switch has 3 pins. The 2 outside pins, they are connected when you put it in reverse, but other than that are isolated. The center pin is grounded, and the center pin for our application really doesn't matter. What I was hoping to do was kind of come up with a simple way to do this without adding a relay. So the Fire Punk boys got it right. Not surprising, right? So the problem is you have 2 wires coming in that you need to put to the 3rd wire in order to see reverse. So you have to have all 3 of those connected to see reverse, and you just need the 1 single wire to see neutral. So that neutral wire, how they have it set up, is grounded all the time, giving you neutral, park, drive as the end. To get reverse, they have a relay that operates. When these 2 become connected, it completes a 12-volt circuit, operates the relay, and now all 3 are grounded, and now you get your reverse functions. I know that's kind of confusing or whatever, but that's how it works. There's no way to really improve on their setup that I can come up with. Pretty much theirs is the most simple. So we're gonna have to get another relay, run a 12-volt feed, all that shit. So basically, got everything I wanted to get done tonight in the garage. It was more figuring than work, but it was stuff that we needed to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share with your friends, your family, whoever. Anyway, guys, get out there, get the wrenching on your truck. I'll catch you on the next one.